the Seahawks lid. What up, Russell Wilson?
I love that you called me that. He's my favorite player in the whole league, man.
Is he?
I love him. I love the Seahawks. I love what he brings to the table. This is not a football show, Chris.
No, I know, but you're wearing the lid, so I got to at least call it out.
Okay, it's a nice lid, though, right?
It's a great one. And by the way, I always say this, go see as many baseball stadiums as possible. NFL, they're kind of nondescript. I mean, yeah, there's cool ones that just opened in L.A. and the Jones Mahal down in Arlington's kind of neat because they're so huge and impressive. Seattle, if you have a chance to take in a Mariners game and a Seahawks game on the same weekend, go do it. That place up in Seattle's rocking. It's cool.
100%. I love. We try to do it every year. Seattle's awesome. It's like a community, and it's a decent sized city, but it feels really small on Sundays. Man, they get together, and it's all Seahawks there. And
the home of the Mariners is great too. When that roof's open and it's sunny out, it's a cool place to play, no question. All right, let's get it going with Slim Daddy Vladdy. Again, now tied for the Major League lead once again with Ronald Acuna and homers. We know the Blue Jays can hit. Does it feel like they should, at trade deadline time, go get a couple of relievers because this team is really on the brink of doing something special this year?
Yeah, it's the pitching. I don't know if it's a couple relievers. I don't know if it's another starter and maybe one other reliever. I know they've had, a couple guys come up and have some good starts this year. Is that sustainable for the entire year? Not sure. So I do agree with you. I mean, the way that they can hit the ball and just like that, the energy that they exude makes me believe they're going to be there in September. So, yes. And you can say that for a lot of teams, Chris, like go get a few relievers. I think there's going to be a lot on the market. For them, I would look reliever, starter, just someone that can give them some innings, I think is what they would need.
Yeah, well, I mean, listen, Alek Manoah makes his second Major League start today, right? Is he that guy that can kind of fill the void at the back end of the rotation? We'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see. I mean, he's fun to watch through 6 innings of Major League Baseball. It's going to take a few turns through the rotation to figure out if he has what it takes to be pitching in meaningful baseball in late August and early September. I will say this. I'm just going to throw 2 names out there because I believe you can improve your starting pitching by adding to your bullpen.
Sure.
Right? You're asking guys to go maybe 4 or 5 innings instead of 6 or 7. And there's 2 veteran names out there. I'm going with Daniel Hudson and I'm going with Ian Kennedy. I think Washington's going to fall off. And Hudson is a guy that Toronto's familiar with. I think he played there in 2019. He's still throwing the ball well. Ian Kennedy, I know he's 37. Doesn't have the postseason pedigree of, say, a Daniel Hudson who was on the mound when Washington won it all a couple years ago. But can still get guys out and can still blow you away. And, I think you need veterans back there. Listen, Jordan Romano's been great this year for them. Mm-hmm. Trent Thornton's been really good. I still would like to add more.
I totally agree. I like the 2 guys that you came up with right there. I was trying to think where you're going to go with that. But Ian Kennedy is going to be on a lot of teams' checklists come July. And, now that the Royals, they had their fun start to the season, they're kind of backpedaling a little bit. I believe that he will be available.
All right, let's move on to St. Louis. Huge win last night out in L.A. Tyler O'Neill with a great snag of rookie bets that probably saved the game right there. The bigger news was what St. Louis lost before the game. Your boy Jack Flaherty out with a significant oblique. They're not putting a timetable on it, but is this something that you're worried should worry the fan base there in St. Louis?
Yeah, I mean, you want the guy on the hill for you. It's going to be – I talked to Jack. It's going to be some time. And unfortunately, things like that happen. It seems like this year alone – there's been more pitchers on the aisle than ever, more position players, a lot of soft tissue stuff going on. So they're going to have to deal with it. I don't think it's, a season crusher for them. Mm-hmm. I told Jack, take your damn time. Sorry, St. Louis, but I told him, man, these things linger. So take your time, come back, be ready for that playoff push. Because I believe that St. Louis will still be able to, be in the race without Jack, even though that's a huge part of their team, obviously. They got something going on there in St. Louis this year. So should they be disappointed and worried? Yeah, but it's not the end of the season for them.
Right. And some people are like, well, why are you asking such a stupid question? Let's remember the year they last won it all, 2011. Who didn't pitch? Adam Wainwright. He blew out that year.
Yeah.
So he didn't pitch. So you can get past things. I look at their rotation. Gantz made huge strides forward. He pitched last night and pitched well. And as long as he continues to not walk the world, he's going to be just fine. Waino continues to divide, father time. Kim has been really good. Martinez is really he's the swing guy for me because he can be electric out there. And then there's times where he's pitching 3 2/3 and you're like, what the hell happened?
I don't get it.
Right? He's awesome. So I am a little worried, but not tremendously because I don't think there's a team that's going to pull away in that division. I don't think Milwaukee, and I've been impressed with the Cubs. As much as I thought they were going to be sellers at the deadline, I think they're out to just prove Chris Rose wrong. I think that's their mantra this year. Is what
I think it is. I think that's what they're saying before every game.
I think so.
Screw Chris Rose.
Right, exactly. I mean, David Ross has a picture of me on the dartboard, but it doesn't work anymore because it's a clean-shaven Rose. He needs to get the darkened beard Rose.
I like that.
All right. Speaking of Chi-Town, did you see the clip where Steve Stone, the White Sox broadcaster, pointed out that James Karinchak of the Cleveland Indians kept going to his mitt, and there appeared to be a dirty spot in there?
Take a look at the glove. And take a look at the little black spot he has where the thumb meets the web. And he reaches in there, and he gets it both on his thumb and 2 fingers. Now, some of my friends have told me that if you do that, you're going to get a much better rotation on your curveball. Not saying it's there, but you don't find a lot of black stuff inside red gloves.
First of all, what do you think of Stoney calling him out?
I think it's going to happen more and more. I mean, it's the stories out there, and these guys, they got to talk about something. And then when a guy like Karinchak, who obviously has his personality going on, and he's huffing and puffing out there, acting like a big tough guy, he's going into his glove. I think he's the perfect person to call out. And just this morning it came out, Chris, that the minor league. There's 4 or 6 guys in the minor leagues that got suspended for 10 games because they found substances on their glove. Okay, doesn't mean they're going to implement it at the major league level. That's that sort of precedent that's been set because we do have a union. We can appeal all these good things, but it's coming for all these guys. Judgment Day is coming for all of these guys. Whether it's, even this Karinchak, to me, it looked like he was just using pine tar, but it's so blatant and so obvious and such disregard for the rules. So that is against the rules. Pine tar is against the rules, even though it's commonly probably accepted because it's been proven not to increase spin rate. Don't be willy-nilly with it like that, man. Figure it out. That is just a slap you to or an F you, a slap in the face to the hitters. And I'm glad they called him out.
So it's going to be really interesting. I think you're going to see a lot of broadcasts on the other teams that are going to start looking for it because I've seen a ton of guys. Listen, I'm a huge Indians fan. I've watched Karinchak do this for a while. I sat there and I'm like, is nobody else seeing this?
They all do it.
He does it all the time. And listen, if I'm Terry Francona, I don't know how this protocol works in the clubhouse, but I go up to him and I'm like, hey, dude, use a different glove.
Put a black glove on. What are you doing?
Well, but even then, the cameras are everywhere.
Yeah.
Trevor, right? So we know when this happens. I'm telling you, on the Rose rotation, a couple of times ago, Trevor Williams of the Cubs pointed it out. He told us, he gave us basically a dissertation in what to watch for as a baseball fan. Watch what pitchers are doing. This is where they're hiding it. This is what they're doing. Watch when guys are doing this. Watch when they go to their belt. And we got cameras everywhere. I don't have a problem with what Steve Stone did. I really don't. And it's time we start cleaning things up.
Here's the last point I want to make on it. If you have to load your thumb up and the ball up with pine tar to throw a certain pitch, maybe you shouldn't throw that pitch. That's not your pitch then. That is the pine tar's pitch, dude. Figure out how to play the game yourself. And I want to go back. Sorry, I'm going to make another point because I'm pissed off now, Chris.
Sorry.
When we look back at the Houston Astros in 2017, they were doing that thing where they look away from the camera and then look at the camera all together. People thought it was funny back then. Now when you look back, it is the most cringe-worthy celebration ever because you have context with it now. I believe these pitchers and all the silly crap they've been doing on the mound after strikeouts, we're going to be looking back at it the exact same way when Judgment Day happens.
Wow. Well, I hope we don't. I don't want to lose the emotion. I don't want to lose that.
Well, I'm not talking about emotion. I'm talking about the sword thing and all the other things that they're doing. You
don't like that, huh?
Not if you're cheating doing it. If you can get me out legally, I guess do whatever you want. If you're cheating and doing it.
So cringe. I think they're two separate issues here. Yes, I agree with you that if cheating is the reason that you're ending up being better than the other guy, absolutely. Yes. I get it. But you're not against the emotion as long as it's done within legal
exactly.
realm.
No, I don't. You celebrate. That's great. I'm for that. I think it's progressing the game forward. But don't do it if you're cheating.
Got it. By the way, quick promotion. Next Rose rotation is coming out tomorrow with two hitters, Miguel Rojas and Nick Castellanos. We have a long discussion about it from a hitter's standpoint. Castellanos tells an amazing story about he wouldn't name the guy who did something, but showed him how the sticky stuff worked. It's interesting. It was really, really good.
He is on the Reds.
Speaking of pitchers, well, he might not be anymore.
I know. I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
Which pitcher starting today is most important to his team's playoff hopes? Lamet for San Diego, Pivetta for Boston, or Manaea for Oakland?
This is a tough question, bro.
Yeah.
I'll go with two. I don't know, man. Lamet,
I cannot give you three choices and you go with two.
I know. I have one. I do have one.
Okay.
Lamet out. I think the Padres, they could get by without him. He's obviously awesome. Oakland, I love Manaea. I think they have enough guys there. I think it's Pivetta for me, and I think it is Pivetta. You know, they don't have that deep of a rotation, and he's been a guy that's exceeded expectations, been better than they probably expected. So you need him and Richards to continue to exceed expectations if they want to continue doing what they're doing. Obviously, they're hitting the crap out of the ball, but their pitching has also been pretty good. So he needs to continue to be that guy if they want to stay in this race.
So I'm going to go with Sean Manaea. That's why I'm wearing the elephant hat today. It's the elephant in the room. For some reason, maybe it's because of his injury history, the A's continue to baby him. Do you know that only 2 of 11 starts this year he's gone past 100 pitches? Like, he's a big, strong dude. He's 6'5". He's almost 250. Let's let that guy roll. And with Luzardo out and Puck never come into what they thought he would be, this is the guy in their organization that was supposed to be the dude. And we thought maybe when he threw the no-hitter a couple of years ago, we were like, okay, Sean Manaea is going to be one of those guys that takes the next step. I'm not saying he's been bad. I think he's been solid. I think there's more there in the tank. And I would like to see him take that next step, right? So far, Chris Bassett has been unbelievable. He has been great the last 2 seasons. Somebody else needs to join him at the top of that rotation. I think Sean Manaea has got all the talent in the world to do it. Am I wrong?
No, I think you're totally right. And then a couple guys have underperformed. Like Montes hasn't performed.
Right.
And I think that he will. I don't know how to say his name. Caprielian?
James Caprillion.
Caprillion. It's been pretty good. He can step up. To me, like, the A's just have pitching coming out of everywhere. Cole Irvin's been a decent surprise for them. I know Cole very well. So, like, I get what you're saying. I want Sean Manaea to go out there and dominate, and he definitely is a huge part of that rotation. But I just feel like they just have pitching to just find guys. So
I know
that's why I went with Pivetta. I was between those two.
Right. No, and I get it because just when you count the A's out, they end up getting you. So
I know they'll probably make some silly trade and find somebody.
Right. It'll end up working. Always does. Last one. You saw Billy Hamilton score in the Little League home run yesterday, and then as he slid head first into home, his face bounced off the dirt. Was it worth taking the scab on the nose for the 2 ribs and then the run scored?
Absolutely, man. Oh. That heals. Those RBIs are forever. You know.
No.
Hey, I actually did that in high school baseball. I still have a scar. I don't know which side it's on. I'm on the.
Really?
Yeah. Same thing. Diving into second base though. Boom, chin. Never got it stitched up or anything. I have a horrible scar here. It's covered up by my beard. But that's just part of being a ball player, man. Sometimes you got to go out and look. That guy, towards the end of his career, fighting for all the innings that he can get, wanting to win. I love it. I love the attitude, and I love the aggressiveness.
Interesting. Okay, I thought for sure you with the pretty face wouldn't want to give that up, but I bet you anything. I bet you anything that the girls were like, "Oh, did you see Plouffe? He's got the little cut on the chin."
It's somewhere here.
Is it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't want to listen. Not that this has made me a ton of money over the years, and at this point, it's all downhill. So, I mean, if I bounce this thing off the dirt, it's really not going to matter. I mean, come on. Really?
The beard is like one big Band-Aid, so you're good.
That's a good point. My wife calls beards makeup for men.
It's true.
You agree?
Yeah, I've heard girls say that before, and there was like a meme going on around on the internet where it was like guys before they had beards and then with beards, and you look better. It gives you a shape, covers up some imperfections. It's
I still can't figure out. I still don't know.
The big sunglasses thing. You know, when I don't know if I can even say this anymore. Sometimes girls wear big sunglasses and it covers up a lot of their imperfections.
Oh boy! Now it's time to call it off for the day. I think we're out. We're out. You got anything else going on with Jomboy today? I know we got another Talking Baseball that's coming out.
We released our April through May All-Star team. We're trying to do it so we don't really believe in the league choosing and how they've done it, so we want to give our own.
Ooh.
So we did that. That came out this morning, and that's it, man. That's all I got. What about you?
Just starting to get ready for Friday's taping of Glasnow and Willy Adames. We're going to reunite the guys together.
Love that.
Yeah, I know that the boys did a nice interview with Adames yesterday. This one's going to be a little different because it'll be Glasnow. The most interesting part to me is that the day that Adames was traded, and we've talked about this, how integral he was to the makeup of that Rays team, Glasnow was actually starting. So to get your world rocked right before you're starting, you know how pitchers get. They step, They get into that zone, and all of a sudden it's like forgetsville.
They're soft.
I'll pass that along to Tyler.
You can. That's fine.
Yeah.
I love Willie. I'm glad he's coming on. He's got a great personality. I think he's a hell of a shortstop, too.
Yeah.
And since he's been over with Milwaukee, he's been raking. So I think there is a little bit something to unlock with his bat. Maybe they can do it, but that's cool. I'm excited to watch that one.
And by the way, it's the perfect fit. If he was to leave Tampa, like Milwaukee is an ideal fit. Bunch of good, fun guys up there. Smallish town, good feel to it, not too much pressure on him, but is going to be playing meaningful baseball. I like that. All right, dude. Have a good day. I'll see you again. Same bat time, same bat channel tomorrow.
Can't wait. I'll see you guys tomorrow.
Everybody have a great day. Watch out for those pitchers doing this sort of stuff. But don't watch for James Karinchak because the game got rained out today in Cleveland.
Go Hawks.
I know. All right, gang. Peace.